something else that kind of stuck out to me, and let me know if you picked up on this, was when Michelle was talking to the mom. I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm worried. I feel like Michelle, if she picks Nayte, she could potentially be lowering her standards. Just because I know that's a very loaded statement.
Not as much as you like Nayte. Hold on.
I know. I know. Not lowering her standards of like getting with him. Like I think Nayte obviously has everything going for him. But lowering her standards in the sense of accepting less than what she wants out of a relationship, just because when the mom was like, oh, like what do you want out of this, like is an engagement the goal? I have never known Michelle to not say that an engagement was not the goal, but she very clearly stated when the mom asked this, she said, oh, and I wrote down in my notes specifically verbatim, she says, I will do whatever feels right. That to me, that to me is an answer that is given in a way to mold itself to whatever.
Lowering your expectations.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's very concerning to me because Michelle, like we're saying, like she's a woman who knows what she wants. Like she is very intentional about all the decisions and moves that she makes, like as a Bachelorette. So I have never once thought that she doesn't want a proposal at the end of this.
Yeah. And that's why I think when it comes down to it, I think Brandon's going to be the one she picks over Nayte because of this. Like she is so caught up in this chemistry and these feelings and things like that. But I think when she really sits down and thinks about it, she's going to be like, I could be happy with Nayte, but that's not what I came here to do or what I hope to have happen at the end of this. This is not what's going to happen. On top of, and I think it means something different when you leave here engaged versus if you just leave here a couple, especially them being long distance. I think it means a lot. And, you know, picking up on that pieces of him saying like, this could be our life in Texas. Now, Nayte, not everybody gonna want to move to Texas. Okay.
Right.
This needs to be like, maybe if they're so like, you thinking about like Kendall and Joe or whatever, like y'all are so stuck in your cities, y'all can find somewhere, pick a new city, pick a new state, somewhere in the middle. Like, you know, like maybe that is going to be issue and who knows, but I think it's so caught up in a whirlwind of like, oh my God, like this, we would have never have met and hung out and we have this undeniable chemistry. And which is so weird because I feel like other leads previously would have been really fixated on the fact that the family member said he's not ready.
Yeah.
It happens so much. And that's why you're like, oh my God, is this person going home? I never had a doubt that she was going to send Nayte home. I never had a doubt because she sounded a little concerned, but it was not the intensity that I've seen other leads be like, his parents said that he's not ready.
Right.
Like
it didn't sink in for her.
Yeah, she said that's worrying, but she moved past that.
I feel like it's one of those things where like your friends try to show you all these red flags when you're dating someone and you're just like,
I can't read.
Fine. Yeah.
that Arthur meet.
Yeah.
I can't read anyway.
That's literally what this was.
And she may have also been caught up in him discovering that about his relation or that confession he had with his dad and being supportive of him, that she pushed aside her concern in that moment.
Which is not good.
And I always am curious because I've heard that they shoot this, like they air this out of order for when the hometowns happen. So I'm curious about like when her hometown with Nayte actually happened, and things like that. So I'm just curious on that too, because if it was the last one, then she could have been, you know, floating on the like, oh my God, he had this connection with his dad, and that's great, and I want to keep talking to him, and I have this chemistry and these feelings for him, and things like that.
Yeah. So, okay, going off of what you said about how the red flags are being presented to her, but she's not necessarily taking it in. And you were saying that's why you feel like Brandon might be a better option. Do you think she will be able to snap out of it in time? Like, do you think she will just kind of take that L, fumble the bag a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's where the final two, where you go back and you circle back with your family, will come into play. where she's able to process with her family. Like regardless, her family's going to support her and stand behind her no matter what. But I think the conversations where she has with her families and how they notice how they are and what they discover in asking him questions and then tell her and go back and tell her about it, I think that's what's going to put it in perspective for her. It's going to help. It's going to help break her down out of the like, you know, like, oh, like the, you know, the chemistry and then the love struck eyes and things like that. I think it's going to help settle her when if he goes that far enough, which I think he will.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And especially like sitting there already met Brandon and he was very clear, like, I'm gonna marry her.
Yeah. Brandon is ready. He's available.
I tell you, he loves her. He loves her.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. We'll just have to see kind of how that all plays out.